if I can at least get
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with a Grey Knight double patrol list. We're going to be playing a 2,500 point game today, so it's a little bit different. Should be pretty fun, bringing lots of toys. I don't know how it's going to go because I'm playing the dreaded Harlequins. They're the nemesis to most people in our little gaming group right now. So I'm starting off with my HQs. I've got 2 Grandmaster Dread Knights. I've got a Librarian with the Multi-Melta. I've got Drago, the Lord Drago himself, and an Apothecary with his hammer. The Smashicary, as we like to say. They've got 1 patrol, has 10 Paladins. There are 4 Silencers in that squad. Got a Vendread with a combat weapon, Stormbolter, and the Assault Cannon. And then there's 2 5-man squads of Terminators, and each squad of Terminators has a Psi Cannon. And I have 3 total, but the other squad is for the other patrol. And then there's a combination. 2 of the squads have 3 Falchions in them, and then 2 Halberds. The other squad has all Halberds. Then I've got a 10-man squad of Interceptors and 5 Purgators. The Purgators are not WYSIWYG. You'll forgive us. I don't really run 2,500 points very often, so I didn't realize I was missing some of those weapon choices. So that comes out to 2,500 points on the nose. Lots of psychic powers. The simple rundown is Gate of Infinity on all the troops. I believe the Interceptors still have Vortex of Doom. They have Astral Aim. The Vendread has Gate of Infinity. And then my characters, a couple of them have Sanctuary. Drago has Armored Resilience and Ethereal Manipulation. And the Librarian is giving me the extra CP. And Controlling the Tides, I believe. Then the Relics, the Librarian has the Sanctic Shard to reroll a failed test. And the Apothecary has the Cuirass of Sacrifice, so he gets a 5-up Feel No Pain. And that's it. So that's 2,500 points. I will be back in just a second. We'll go over the Harlequin list for this game, this adventure. Here we are, playing against Josh's Harlequins. I have run against this list with my Drukhari. That was ugly. Trying to get this with my Grey Knights. It should be a little bit better, I hope. He's got a brigade, ladies and gentlemen. It's a brigade. Don't see those very often. You still have the 3 groups of 2 bikes a pop.
Yes.
3 units, 2 bikes. So we got all the Star Weavers. They're full of all kinds of nasty death and fusion pistols, and I know this from experience. And then we've got a lot more characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
8 characters total today.
8 characters. There's, what, 3 Death Jesters now?
Yep. A Solitaire, 2 Shadow Seers, 2 Troop Masters. And then the main thing I brought with this is the 3 Void Weavers.
Oh, yes. Which ones are the Void Weavers? Right. I didn't see. Oh, yeah.
The 3 with
the rear-facing cannons in there, yes. That was part of the reason he wanted to play. Actually, it's the main reason he wanted to play 2,500 points, so he could bring out the Void Weavers. They haven't been seen in too long. It's going to be a good time. So we will. That's 2,500 points of Harlequins. So we'll get the battle rolled up, and we'll get all this stuff set up, and we'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we decided with this 2,500 point army matchup that we're going to try open war. So we drew a random card for our objective. It is Storm the Lines, which is slightly ironic, giving the Harlequins facing off with the Grey Knights. This is an interesting mission where we each deployed, picked a deployment zone. This was the deployment map that we received, so that was spicy. And then each of us alternates placing an objective marker in our deployment zone until all 6 have been placed on the field. So there's 3 in each deployment zone. We get a point for holding our own. We get 2 for holding the opponent's. But with this particular deployment, I don't know, it's going to be kind of wild. And the twist for this game, unstable reality. Subtract 1 from leadership characteristic of all models. Subtract 1 from combat attrition tests, which is interesting. And Grey Knights, you know, we've got the no fear. However, Mr. Josh is running some craziness with the Harlequins that also is going to add a -1 for morale, the Silent Shroud. So there's actually a chance of losing some things for my side, which is kind of weird. It's a little spicy. We also have, what was it, 18 command points because we're running 2,500 points. Josh spent a few starting the game off, so he's at 13, and I am at 15. Yep. And here's the battlefield. We have deployed. We have Grey Knights on this side. We have 1 objective marker right there. We have 1 objective marker back there. And then the last objective marker is over here. There's not a lot of options, interestingly, because of you have to be 6 inches away from the edge and 9 inches away from each marker. So these are this. Purgation Squad and Drago up here in the building. Paladin Bomb behind them. Terminators, Interceptors, Dread Knight. This one is not the Warlord. He's just a Dread Knight, Grandmaster. Then Dread over here. Dread Knight, who is the Warlord with first to the fray, so rerolling failed charges, and then one more Terminator squad. There's one Terminator squad and the Apothecary in Deep Strike. Then on the other side, we are facing up here with Harlequins. Need my cool phone thingy to react correctly now. So here we go. They're deployed. The objectives are actually almost identical as far as placement. Not a surprise, is it? One in the middle, one on each end. Only one that's really very exposed is this one back here. The rest of them are fairly well hidden with the Grey Knights across the way. And then we've got all this goodness. He decided not to put anything in webway or any of that shenaniganizing stuff, so I'll be the only one with any drops coming in later. And there we are. So if you'll grab a die, sir, we can have a little roll off and see who is going to take first turn.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
A 3.
He has rolled a 3. I
Mighty
rolled...
four.
Oh, the mighty 4.
Ooh,
Grey Knights would
your
like
choice.
to take the first turn because
It
we
is a
need our
good
buffs before we get annihilated.
It is
Ha
a good
ha ha.
idea.
So
Ooh.
we'll be back after Grey Knights turn 1. Grey Knights turn 1 is done. These guys are just hanging out, chilling on their objective. Interceptors are waiting for an opportune moment to come up and cause mayhem. These guys, even with a +1 from Empiric Surge, still managed to roll a 3 on their attempt at gating and re-rolled it into a perils. So we lost one of them, but the power went off, so that was nice. These guys moved up, cast Astral Aim. Drago buffed up the Paladin squad, which is no longer here. Grandmaster shuffled forward, he the Prognosticar. Vendread over here scooted up as fast as his little stubby legs could go with 6 inches. He moved forward. We jumped the Paladin Bomb up here. They have all the buffs on them, so they're Armored Resilience, Ethereal Manipulation, and Hammer Hand, so they're -1 to wound, +1 to wound in combat. Re-rolling everything in half distance for shooting. It's good times. Sadly, there's nothing that they could charge because they failed to charge, even with the re-roll from the Grandmaster. So they're just going to sit in the wind. We did kill a squad of 2 bikes. We killed 3 Star Weavers in total between our shooting that was in range. Killed 1 squad of troop, and I think only one of the Star Weavers exploded and caused some wounds back here. So there's some random wound counters that are going off around here. And we killed 1 of this squad over here of bikes. So that's where we stand. So the way this game works, you score at the end of your turn, so I get 3 for holding 3 on my side of the board. And if I can get in range to hold some of his stuff, then I will be able to pick up 2 a pop for those. So now it's the turn for the silently laughing, silently shrouded Harlequins to retaliate. We'll be back after Harlequins. Turn 1.
Silently shrouded. All right. Let's see.
Okie dokie, the Harlequins turn. It's still just turn 1, isn't it? Turn 1, and both of our armies have suffered massive casualties. Paladins are no more. We had 2 left. We used the fight on death strat, which proved to be brutally efficient. So you'll notice that like 1/4 of the army is gone on this side, and these troops are almost dead. These guys are fine over here for now, because he came in and just wrapped everything into the Paladins on this side. We spent a lot of command points. I'm down to 3. Started at 15 because we're playing at bigger points. And I'm down to 3. In 1 round of combat. These guys lost 2.5. Passed the morale miraculously. These guys lost 4, passed the morale. They lost 1.5. Well, 2, I guess, and a half. And they passed morale. This right here, this was a story. My Astral Aimed Purgation squad got charged by his Solitaire. Overwatched, almost killed the Solitaire. The Solitaire only killed 1 of them, made some phenomenal armor saves, and then they killed him in combat. It was hilarious. This right here probably should be dead, but 3 up invulnerable saves for the win. 3 wounds left, and he went in and nearly killed the Solitaire, but not quite. Or not Shadow Seer. Took some wounds. What do you have? You're at 4 wounds, so you got 1 left, I think.
You have 1 left on this Shadow Seer.
Yeah, on the Shadow Seer. So, yeah, trying to get rid of Troop Masters and all that good stuff. It's wild. So everything is dying. Everything is dead. It's okay. It's fine. The score is 2-3. Or 3-2, depending on your point of view. He held 2 objectives. I'm holding 3. That's how it goes. What a weird game. This is a blast. So we'll come back after Grey Knight's turn 2 and see if anything can be done to recover the situation here. It has been fun and violent and bloody so far.
Definitely entertaining.
Very entertaining. Crazy stuff.
Okay. Almost useless, and then a bunch of death.
All right. Grey Knights. Turn 2 is over. We did some works. We shot and killed the troop and left 1 alive so the Grandmaster could charge, which he did. He killed him in the combat. Over here, this Void Weaver is down a few wounds because of shoe sting. Over here, we also shot into the Death Jesters, and you'll see down there, oh yes, the special 1 command point strat to drop within 3 inches. Stole that objective as well with objective secure. Very cheeky of me. Back here, we moved the Vendread around. He and the Terminators and all of these guys did a lot of no smiting. It was very frustrating. It's like what they're supposed to do when they didn't. But we did use a fun little Gate of Infinity from the Terminators onto this very badly hurt Dread Knight. Popped him out of combat, shot a squad of troop to death, shot all but 1 squad of troop to death over here. I don't know if he needs a morale or not, because I don't know what their leadership is. He does? Okay. And we're -1 because of our mission, so. Then what did I do? Oh, I killed the Troop Master back there. That was good. Shadow Seer still got a wound left. We did kill a Void Weaver over here with Drago. The Terminators, can I just say, were horrible. They didn't wound anything on the Void Weaver. It was embarrassing.
Somebody had to be.
Somebody had to whiff. This Star Weaver is wounded because of my teleport shunt once a game, so they came back and stole this one. So I've got all 3 of his objectives for 6 points and all 3 of mine for another 3, so I get a 9-point boost in this game. So now it's up to the Harlequins to come back and wreak havoc and regain some composure. It's the Silent Shroud is what Mr. Josh here keeps fussing about and wishing he didn't have. They have been silently not doing well.
Doing nothing, but
so yeah,
let's see if they can change that.
End of Grey Knight's turn 2. We'll be back after Harlequin's turn 2 as well. End of the Harlequins turn 2. These guys finally got my Purgation squad. They survived more than they should have, to be fair. They survived a solitaire. That was pretty cute. Over here, I have no more Librarian. I also don't have a Vendread. I also don't have a Terminator squad, but only because of their Silent Shroud shenanigans, making him fail his morale on a 2d6. That was rude. He also does not have a Shadow Seer. Yeah, so that was nice. And a bike. Drago died and then stood back up and hit him. So that was something. The Apothecary did take 2 down with him as well. Oh yes, over here. Charged in, got shot at, then charged by the Void Weaver, Star Weaver, excuse me. And my Falchions popped the Star Weaver. Josh was not impressed with the D3 damage weapons.
D3 damage is pretty powerful. They need to...
This guy decided not... He says it's pretty powerful, but I don't have many bodies because they're expensive.
That's all right.
He decided not to charge them. They shuffled over, did their thing.
I think he has more bodies than
and he's over here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. He's got a lot more...
Have 1 wound in toughness 3.
This is interesting. So he did take this back objective from me. He took that objective, so he's getting 4 points out of this. So that helps him a bit on the scoring. And yeah, we will be back after Grey Knight's turn 3. It's only turn 3, and both of our armies are pretty much in the field of shame. See that? Yes. End of turn 2. That's how much is in the field of shame. Or death. Graveyard. Whatever you want to call it. So, pretty fun game. Pretty fun game. We'll be back after Grey Knights. Turn 3.
I don't think I will have it. Oh my
All right.
Off the Dread Knight, I knew it was over.
Yeah, that Josh wasn't feeling good when this Dread Knight over here survived with a couple of wounds. He did perils on himself and brought himself down to 1 at the end of that turn. But this is the end of turn 3 for the Grey Knights. What is remaining for the Harlequins are these. hiding out in the corner, holding an objective. They
Nobody
could
in the store.
nobody inside, so they could come around and shoot stuff and probably kill things. But that's about all that's left. The interceptor squad finished off the last troop. These guys shot and killed the Void Weaver and the Death Jesters after some smatterings of psychic. The Dread Knight didn't even shoot. These guys didn't get to shoot either, and the Apothecary finished the last two troops in combat after healing himself up and then taking 2 wounds again. So that's where it ended up. So open war, pretty funny. Actually would have had more Terminator squads left if it wasn't this open war and the Silent Shroud. That's what forced my last guy to flee.
Well, I believe the Frozen Stars and some pivotal roles would have done significantly better.
And now Josh is very convinced that the Frozen Stars, some pivotal roles. We were trying to play this one a little sillier just because Josh is getting tired of steamrolling everybody. I think that's what it was. He was tired of steamrolling us because he hasn't played my Grey Knights yet, but I think this might be the only army that's beat his Quins in like 2 or 3 months.
Well, the Grey Knights have a very good counter against the Quins, as I had theorized earlier. And they certainly did.
Yeah, the mortal wound output. But a lot of it, too, was the shenanigans. I mean, I had 15 command points to start this game, but then I burned through all but 3 in just the first battle round. But those command points did a ton of work. My paladins fighting on death pretty much eliminated the entire quarter of his army that charged them on that side. And what was left died with the Dread Knight, I think, right? Over in that bubble.
Yes.
Then over here with our shenanigans, using Gate of Infinity to get the Dread Knight out and then leaving everything in the middle there to be shot at was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, when I realized those guys were going to get shot at, I knew this game was over.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And
I thought they just shunted themselves. I didn't know
they pick a unit within 12 and go.
That's insanely powerful.
It is. We only do it once a psychic phase, but it sure does the work. So yeah, it was pretty wild. And the Grey Knights, I mean, I've played a couple of times against Harlequins of Grey Knights, and the Storm Bolters help a lot because AP doesn't matter, and it's just the sheer volume of shots.
It's the volume of shots that you need.
It's a volume of shots,
the
and
they have everything on paper economy.
Yeah, and they're still hitting on 3s. So there's still Marines with a ballistic skill, but even like my little 1-wound baby Terminators that fold all the time, they still made saves. Like there's still 4 of those guys left. My Purgation squad took 2 rounds of shooting and combat from 2 different units, I think.
Technically, D3 wounds and AP on all of your close combat weapons.
Yeah, the D3 damage.
Technically, you are actually better than me in melee. However,
that's true.
I have, due to my invulnerable saves, it makes your APs
right.
Really
Negates the AP.
But the D3s are really good against anything I have with multi.
Right. It was.
You are actually better than me in melee if you're facing an army where your AP mattered.
Yeah, if the AP counted,
faster than I
there was so much that I was like, oh, I got great AP 2. Oh, I got AP 3. Oh,
well,
AP 4. Oh,
that
never
does
mind.
nothing against my army.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, it was a fun game. It was fun to do the open war again. We hadn't done that in a long time.
Open war was good.
And it totally
interesting mission.
Yeah, it totally mixed us up because our deployment zones and where the objectives went. That was pretty funny. Not much you could do about it. So it was a fun time. Appreciate it, Josh. It was a good game.
Oh, no, that was a good game.
And
yeah,
we'll play again. We'll let you bring your Frozen Stars against my Grey Knights next time and see if you just mulch them.
Well,
I don't know.
They should do significantly better.
It would be a lot worse for me.
Than the Silent Shroud.
Silent Shroud. It was funny to get that stacked on top of this the open war mission with a -1 to your leadership stacked with his Silent Shroud stacked with like.
Oh, yes.
There was a couple of times where like my Paladin squad was at a -3 on their save, I think. I mean on their leadership, right?
Yes.
The Paladins went to a -3. This squad. They lost 9, 8 guys. Yeah, these guys back here had a -3 stacked on them, right?
Yeah.
And they've made it on a 1. So I mean, there was some ridiculous rolls on both sides.
Yes.
It was pretty funny, but yeah, it was interesting to have that stack on top of the Silent Shroud with the -1s, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
it was entertaining. It was entertaining.
It was. This has been another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report. Hope you enjoyed the 2,500 point game. It's pretty fun.
That was fun.
He told me ahead of time that his poor little Void Weavers were not good, and I think the poor Void Weavers killed like 2 models the whole game.
A little more than 2.
Maybe 2. Yeah, it was, and he was even shooting them into my little 1-wound interceptors and stuff. And it was disappointing. I felt bad for him.
Currently, it's the start of 9th, and we don't. Neither one of us have a new codex, but like this, the Star Weaver is currently 80 points.
Yeah.
The Void Weaver is 100 points.
Really?
Yes, and he comes with an extra gun no troop transport capacity.
Right.
Had they, for the 100 points, you would think he would have retained his troop transport capacity.
Oh, he
and
used
also,
to
and
be
also
a
they-
troop transporter?
No, he didn't.
Oh, it was
He's
not.
never
Oh, sorry.
had troop
I thought you were
transport.
saying they used
But
to.
like, but I mean,
Still, it's the
transporting
same
troops
base
is
model.
insanely.
Yeah.
Having 6 powerful Harlequins in that vehicle makes that vehicle
Oh, it makes it
well
huge.
worth the less 20 points.
Yeah.
And also, the actual extra gun he comes with is actually 15 points. So where they got the extra 5 points from, it's GW math. So
That's GW math for you.
GW
That's funny. Craziness. Well, hey, that's been fun. It's been a good battle report, and hope you all enjoy it. And leave your comments and your feedback. We'll catch you on the next one.
all right.